And my mum was a primary school teacher and is an extraordinary human being. And she exposed us to all kinds of stuff at a very young age. We were out in the school holidays growing salt crystals on string in the shed, and I don't think I actually knew those things were science. She never badged it and said, "Hey, this is science." She just said, "Hey, this is how the world works." I probably didn't know it was science until high school, when we had the opportunity to use our brains and to actually engage with it for the first time. It was us having a go at it, learning how to do it, looking at the outcome and saying, "Oh, I wonder why that happened." I spent a lot of time thinking, "God, that's really interesting. I wonder how I can do that more often." I like to think of myself these days as a scientist communicator. We talk about science communication and people say, "Oh, I'm a science communicator," but I think I'm actually a scientist communicator. I sit between science and society and help the scientists translate their stories into something that's compatible with the ears that are non-traditional science speakers. But it doesn't make me any less a scientist. It doesn't make me any less a woman in STEM. It just makes me a woman doing STEM in a different way and facilitating STEM get out the door to help to increase the science literacy of the world. Women in science doesn't have to be women in academia, and there are just so many roles for people that support science. We take tours here and at SAMRI and they say, "Oh, well, but what if I want to be a lawyer?" And I say, "Well, we have lawyers here. We have accountants and lawyers, and we had engineers that built the building." All of these things help to facilitate great medical research that's happening here. And so it isn't just for people that are super STEM inclined, but it's for anyone who's curious. The hardest thing about being a woman in science is everybody's identified as this thing that you're actually just a person in science. I don't think I knew I was a woman in science until I came back to Australia as a postdoc after I'd been overseas for 6 years. My dad used to say, "If you can't tie knots, tie lots." It's about resilience and perseverance, and the fact that you don't have to be the best at it, but actually sometimes if you just do it a lot, you'll be better at it. You don't have to be an expert, but you can just put a few knots on it and it's going to be okay. And I've applied that to my life all of the time. All of your role models don't have to do the exact thing that you want to do with the rest of your life. Whether it's my mum's extraordinary capacity to engage us with stuff, or my dad teaching us to tie down a trailer. There's something to be learnt from everybody, I think.